Hello, internet. Hello, Horace. All right, enough of that. What do we got today? We got something we're gonna have to start calling the Larry series. We're sitting in a different spot. I know someone was wishing for the old bench. This isn't necessarily the old bench, but it is an older table I use. But the sunlight's kind of coming at me a different way, so I kind of have to hold the spinner down like this. But anyway, this is gonna be the Larry series. Old Larry lives somewhat local to me. And he's a spinner collector, spin fan, whatever you want to call it. And he let me borrow this bad boy as well as a couple others. So we're gonna have to give him some shout outs because there's at least 3 right now coming, and it's kind of nice having someone local and being able to borrow a spinner, so I don't have to buy them all. So thanks, Larry. Appreciate it. I know he appreciates me as well. Might come as a bit of a surprise, but I guess we'll just put it out there. I did sell him my tungsten tri-portal. He didn't have any tungsten, and I'm one of those guys I really want to be able to share, and he's helping me out, so I sold it to him at cost. I didn't make any money on it, although he did give me a haptic coin in trade as well, so good guy. But then he's also got the tungsten tri-portal, so I'm hoping he's enjoying that. And if you're wondering why I do really like that, it was something where it only feels right to share, and at the same time I still have my tungsten tri-fidget, which I prefer just a little bit, you know, so it is what it is. So big shocker there probably for some of you, but anyway, we'll get over it. We'll get on with the show. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Fidget Spot. I don't probably mention them. I don't know if I've ever really mentioned them, but they're definitely one of the sites that I post my videos on a lot, and they're a pretty cool site. I joined them way back in the day when they hosted or did a maker spotlight for Wusa. So Fidget Spot. It's sort of designed in a similar way that Spin Space is, but they do it without any restrictions on, like, you know, clones or anything like that. So you can go in there and have that conversation. You can buy and sell, but you also can interact with makers, and they usually highlight one a week. Those makers are usually pretty good about doing giveaways and winning stuff. Like they've done Carver's Customs, they've done Heckferul and his super bearings, yeah, they've just you know, they're doing a lot out there. So if you're looking for another spinner group to join, Fidget Spot is definitely one of the few that I keep in my like save groups that I frequent often. So you might see me trolling around out there. So get yourself over there. Anyway, on with the show. We got the Full Throttle Asylum here. Now they make a couple different versions of this. They make it in a bunch of different materials. In the at least full size, I try to do my research. In the full size, they do it in aluminum, brass, copper, stainless steel, and titanium. I don't know if they make the quote-unquote smoothie, but they make a full size and a mini, and then they've got the cutouts in it, and then they make what they call a smoothie one that doesn't have the cutouts. So the mini, as you can imagine, pretty much just removes one of these cutouts and gets smaller. Now, Full Throttle, I had never really been all that interested in, and I can tell you why. It was much like Wusa originally, where I just didn't care for kind of the aesthetic with their logo on the buttons. And I know that's been a criticism Wusa's gotten, and I've kind of gotten over that, and I think I can get over it with these guys as well. But it's a very similar kind of boat, very similar sort of scenario. So they do have aluminum buttons. But they're really nice spinners. So a lot of the things you'll see out there, we're going to get the weight out of the way on this guy. But a lot of the things that you'll see out there, people love these guys. So we're weighing in at 55 grams, so that's a good fidgetable weight. Probably reminds me of if I had a stainless steel Thrax, so not the Tri-Thrax, but the Thrax, probably very similar. Now the cutouts are a little opposite, but anyway, what was I saying? We'll get back into that. People in the community really seem to like these guys that have them, so, but not a lot of people seem to review them or talk about them. And when you look around, you don't see a lot of chatter from like a lot of reviewers that I've seen on these guys, and I'm not sure why that is. But anyway, we've got one here, and we're gonna take a look at it because it's pretty sweet. So they range in the range of 35 bucks up to, I think, 60 bucks for the stainless steel, and then titanium is actually probably a little more. I didn't price out the titanium, but they're good little spinners. So they've got some cutouts, which gives them some lightness to them, right? The arms are a little lighter. We've got cutouts for trits here. We got a really nice machine finish. Let's take a peek under the hood here. So again, we've got aluminum buttons, which is probably going to be the biggest drawback for people that don't like those aluminum buttons, but they've got good grip. They've got good little ridges on the end, so good figure grip. They use a hybrid ceramic. Now on the stainless steel one, I don't think the hybrid ceramic's worth it. You're probably better off throwing in like a Zen Spin from Fidget HQ or a super bearing from our man Heck. Because on this guy anyway, now this one I didn't really clean or mess with, and again, this was Larry's. But on a table spin, 2 minutes 15 seconds, and on a vertical spin about 2.5 minutes. Now, in feeling this guy, I'm pretty sure this is the stainless steel version based on the size and the amount of cutouts and the weight, but if I'm wrong, I'll update that or I'll let you guys know. But based on how the bearing feels compared to tomorrow's video, sneak peek y'all, I actually went and purchased one of these because I really like the feel of this one here and I wanted to try that tri-arm design. But based on the way the bearing feels in the one that I got, I imagine that's probably the spin times you're getting out of this guy. It's the way the mass is distributed and the spinning, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to be able to get more out of it, but at the same time, it feels fast, doesn't feel grindy, doesn't feel loose. So I'm not that worried about the spin time on this. This guy's never going to be a spin time beast anyway. So even if it were getting 5-6 minutes, I wouldn't really care versus 2 minutes with something like this personally. So how does it feel to fidget with? So it feels good. So I started to mention it kind of feels like what I imagine a tri-fidget would probably, or not a tri-fidget, a tri-thrax or I guess a thrax, a bar design of the thrax. Except for it's got like the opposite taper, so it tapers down on the outside as opposed to the thrax obviously tapers out. But you've got that fidgetable weight. You've got these little cutouts here that actually do a pretty good job, surprisingly, catching your finger and giving you something to kind of push off of. Whereas obviously with a thrax you're going to catch it a little further out here, but if you kind of miss, you don't have anything to grab onto. But I really like ones that have this taper. It just feels nice for like a good two-arm pull, or two-finger pull on the arms. They're long enough to do that. So, but you see a lot of people looking for these. I imagine if I had the one I really wanted, it would probably be the mini smoothie. I feel like just feeling this one, having the weight a little closer, but probably similar weights, would just be the one to go for. And you see people looking for those. So. But it throws really well. You know, if you watch my video on the Portal or on the Mini Falcon, right, the cutouts here actually do a lot to help with what might be otherwise a really smooth flat surface that prevents you from getting grip. So if you try to do a really hard preloaded flick on the side, it doesn't really work, but you can still do a gentle pulling on the side. There's enough grip with those cutouts to work actually pretty well. But the way I really like fidgeting it is catching these really nice big soft chamfers and spinning it. And again, this has got a machine finish and we're really smooth. Feels very Portal-esque in a lot of its designs, to be real honest with you. Now, if these faces were smooth with this kind of machine finish, it would be easier to say, but it feels really smooth, right? You see you got a nice little reflection, really soft chamfers, so even though they come to a real nice sharp angle in terms of like it's not a rounded edge at all, it's a straight chamfer. It feels really nice, feels soft. Haven't found a hot spot on this guy. Part of it I think has to do with the weight and the cutouts. Like, it's easy to stop this bad boy without running into all that mass. So you give it a spin and you stop it no problem, any finger, any way you want to do it. So this is definitely in the realm of fidgeter. Definitely a big fidgeter. And I feel like this light's giving us kind of some artistic kind of take on the spinner, right? As I turn it too far and it gets a little dark and we lighten it up. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Well, we know I'm crazy, right? So that's kind of an interesting little warp going on there. But it spins good and it seems like it holds on to its spin time. I was surprised again to see that spin time that light. But again, I don't think that really matters with this guy. So I'm not sure if I really have anything else to say other than I would just kind of keep going on. I guess one thing I sort of wanted to say, and it isn't so much in particular to this guy, but as I get more and more and more spinners, something I'm starting to realize is that while they all feel a little different, I generally, to some degree, really appreciate and like most of what I've gotten. So I feel like you're probably going to be a little biased towards the ones you get early on. And here and there, you'll pick out little favorites, right? But I feel like if I had gotten this earlier in my spin game, or if I had gotten that Mini Falcon earlier in my spin game, I'd have a real affiliation towards those brands because they'd be a little closer to me. But the reality is there's a lot of good makers making good spinners out there, right? This is a good spinner. I don't think, when I give this back to Larry, I'm not feeling the need to get one because I feel like while it does kind of have its own feel, it's not anything that's like tugging at my heartstrings like a Grave Raven does. So just a quality spinner at a good price. I'm not 100% sure if these, I would imagine that these are, well, I don't want to say. They may be USA made, they may be made in China. I'll try to look that up and post that down here below. Because at the price range, for the amount of machining going on, it feels like China, but then you're seeing that press fit, which you generally see with USA made style bearings, so the way they're cranking them out. They are often sold out as well, if I didn't mention that. So you may have a hard time finding it. My brass one I got on sale, but now looks to be sold out. So while there doesn't seem to be a lot of huge chatter about these guys, it seems like they're doing well because they're selling out. So something to be said for it. So if you're thinking of picking one of these up, you won't be disappointed. If aesthetically it doesn't speak to you, well, there's other spinners that will probably do a similar thing. So we'll leave it on that sweet little warp internet. Yeah, boy. Kisses, y'all.